Myself, S.P. Venugopal, working as Associate Professor in Marine Engineering Department. I have been taking the firefighting systems and control subject for this marine insurance, as well as I am ETO in charge for this ETO Electrotechnical Officer course and additional charge. Now, this firefighting system, direction system wise is a common topic for both the marine engineers as well as electrical officers. Reason being that electrical reduction system also involved with that. So, the common subject bit I am going to explain today. So, fire detection system is compulsory on board any ships. Reason is, unless you find the fire and detect the fire in time, you cannot extinguish the fire. So, detection is more important rather than go for a later than fighting and go for a escalation of fire in a massive scale. So, detection systems are employed on board the most advanced system nowadays. Those days you had some principal type of detectors, but now on today, as on now, we have a sophisticated detection system and the alarm system and extinguishing system. So, we will go through this one by one. Okay, the fire detection system having a control panel that is in the accommodation. Is a common space in accommodation between the engine room and the bridge navigational panel, so that officers or engineers can attend to the alarms in time. So, it is an accommodation space, a fire control panel. That panel is a drip-proof mechanism. I mean that means it is not affected by any water or anything. So, enclosed panel having alarm signaling, alarm lights, indication lamps, section alarms, everything is there. Power failure alarm light. Suppose in case the panel itself is not working, normally the panel is supplied by 24 power supply through the main source of power as well as emergency source of power. So, all this you do not employ any 230 or 440 volt devices. Power failure alarm it comes on 24 volts. So, DV must register both visual and audible alarm. That means you might get visual alarm as audible alarm throughout the vessel, where the engine where the people are in the engine room or accommodation or their mess room or any bridge or anywhere in the part of the vessel, you will get a both visual and audible alarm. There are red color lights and red color all firefighting items are marked red. So, this panel itself is a indication, and you have to go and check that which part of the vessel, that section. There are a lot of sections you have, that sections are divided into group panels. Group panels means one particular section having say 10 type of detectors. So, all will be in the group. You can switch on and switch off, isolate also. That reason being that in case you are doing a hard work or any other some other work, you can isolate particular section so they don't get a false alarm. Okay. This detector unit is having a battery charger unit as well as a control panel, something like this. We have a different section of indicators, having a supply power given here, and each zone. Actually, for example, only they given so many is 4, 5, 6 sections are given. Actually, it is much more. So, we have audible alarms and system failure alarm in case the power supply fails here. So, system failure alarm as well as test switches. Suppose you want to test some particular area, on particular fire sensor, you can put a smoke or flame or some heat. There are 3 types. You can particular thing you can activate and check that. So, this is compulsory as per the PMS system of the ship, that you have to check this alarm system one by one every 15 days. So, this is a electrical diagram for this. See, fire alarm security having alarm bells and lights. When fire is detected, alarm lights stay on, bells keep ringing unless a resetting device operated manually. What happens? Suppose alarm comes, someone has to go and attend the thing till the time you are not resetting or accepting the alarm will be keep on ringing. But you can accept the alarm, then you go to the respective station, maybe it's the engine room or galley or any part of the vessel. You can just go and check that. After accepting the alarm, you have to manually reset that, otherwise the bell will be ringing continuously. So, now the manual call points. Manually operated call points are provided throughout the ship. There is a small red color small box like thing. That box will be something like this, red color box. Actually, it will be having a small box having glass outside and there's a red color button inside. You have to open the slide and press this alarm. These manual call points are actually activated in case anybody finds a fire any part of the vessel, for example in the accommodation or galley. They can operate these call point throughout the accommodation spaces, service by control stations. One manually called point will be located at each point. Every floor, for example, a passenger vessel or any kind of vessel, passenger, much more passengers are there. They are the passengers can also operate. They have been trained in the CCW courses how to operate these manual call points to call the attention of other people. Manually operated call points shall be readily accessible in corridors of each deck such that no part of the corridor is more than 20 meters from a manually operated call point. Actually, it should not every 20 meters you must have a manual call point, where in the same floor or separate floor. With a long corridor or some other place, you have to have a distance of 20. This is a regulation on SOLAS, safety of life at sea. They say 20 meters from manually operated call point, it should be separated. Okay, manual detectors wiring. I was telling you this is a common point, the wiring part of it. Now the wiring part, we go to the control panel. It is having electrical wiring which is not affected by the fire. For example, now I have a fire in compartment. The wiring is not protected. The wiring itself will burn itself. So they are enclosed in a fireproof conduit pipe, so that the pipes are taken from the sensors. It is taken to a conduit pipe and taken to the control panel. So it is protected from the high fire risk, except where necessary to provide for fire detection of fire alarm such as spaces to connect to the appropriate power supply. So power supply point is given. Actually, a common point from the distribution panel goes through all these sensors. From the sensors through the protected pipes, the electrical wiring, it goes to the detectors wiring. Okay, now the fire detectors, how they are facing it. Before discussing about the type of fire detectors, the fire detectors should get for optimum performance. That means if you put a fire sensor, the sensor should clearly catch the flame or smoke or heat, so that it is not affected by the ventilation. Some places, what happens, a lot of part of the ship, engine room and all, you have blowers, ventilation fans, all the time supplying air to that. So if they are disturbed by the incoming air, the smoke will be affected. That means you don't get a proper indication of fire alarm time. That's the reason the ventilation ducts and other patterns of airflow, so that such a place is fitted not directly under the blower. It is kept in some corner 0.5 meter away from the bulkhead. It should not be very close to the wall or bulkhead, so that you get a clear picture of the flame or smoke or any kind of heat. So the detectors are spaced away from the ventilation ducts, away from the bulkheads. That's the important thing for spacing of fire detectors. This is a chart given for detector spacing. It is not much of importance because it is given one particular vessel of what is going to be. Maximum floor area depends on the time, distance apart, distance away, all this. This is a general rule given by SOLAS, but actually it differs from ship to ship. So for a heat detector or smoke detector, what is the spacing given? Say 37 meter cube area, maximum floor area, or smoke 74, it can cover more area. Like that, maximum distance apart is 9 meter, 11 meter. So administration permit as spacing means the classification society like DNV or Lloyd's, when they build the ships only they design all these things, but later if any kind of some kind of improvement is required or more heat detectors to be fitted, then you need a permission from them to approve all these things and get a fire plan accordingly amended. Okay, now you come to the type of fire detectors. Now what you have been discussing so far, the spacing and the wiring, control panel, everything, but that is more important than that installation part of it. Now the type of heat detectors, you must be aware of that. See that there are three type of fire detectors. One is called heat detector, other one is flame detector, and third one is smoke detector. There are various types are available, and their performance depends on the spacing and the where it's installed, and how efficiency, what kind of efficiency they have. So basically we have three types of heat detectors, flame detectors, smoke detectors. Now the fire detectors, I told you about the smoke detector, heat detector and flame detector. What they do normally, they detect, sense heat, smoke and flame or other indication of fire, initiate the alarm. They sense the fire or heat, sense the fire by sensing the heat or smoke or flame and gives the alarm in the particular area. Any area which is having a, for example, there is a heat is there but not yet smoke is there, still the heat alarm, heat sensor will work and give the higher temperature. May not be there, but sometimes there is a possible flame may be there. Something started giving smoke, then later started a flame. So before he could turn into a flame, initially that smoke itself will give alarm, so that adverse effect will not be varied. So various types are available depending upon the risk area to be covered, volume, height of the compartment, atmosphere of space. So what you use it in the engine room may be a different type, what you use it in the accommodation is different type, what you use in the cargo space is different. So it depends on the type of the space, what kind of height of the compartment, space of the compartment, atmosphere like where you have chances of any heat is there. For example, now I have a engine room workshop, I can put a flame detector. I will not put a heat detector, I will put a flame detector and smoke detector, because heat detector will take long time to raise up to that time. So these type fire detectors are used in all the ships, depends on these parameters, like depending on the area to be covered, volume, height of the compartment. Now we will come to the heat detectors. First part of it. Heat detectors shall be certified to operate before the temperature exceeds 78 degrees centigrade, not until the 54 degrees centigrade, when the temperature rises to 12 meter rate of 1 degree per minute. That means there is a fixed temperature. At certain temperature it will work. That is one type. Another one is rate of rise. Rate of rise means gradually the heat is coming up. So it will not operate, not exceeds 78 degrees centigrade, it operates. So there are different classification. At higher rates of temperature rise, the heat detectors operate within temperature limits to satisfy administration, having regard to the avoidance of detector sensitivity over sensitivity. Sometimes what happens, your sensor is too sensitive, even a slight amount of heat is rise, so it will give alarm. Maybe that particular compartment there is a sudden rise of temperature due to failure of ventilation fans. The temperature will go up, but it will never operate for a very fast rise unless you have a rate of rise type is fixed. So they have fixed type of fixed type of heat detectors or rate of rise detectors. They can use it accordingly. At the discretion of administration, permissible temperature operation of heat detectors may be increased to 30 degrees above the maximum head decade temperature, drying rooms and other space, normal ambient temperature. Normal rule is this room space. For example, this room space is about 25 degrees centigrade, means they set the temperature at 30 degrees above the normal temperature. That means you can go up to, as per that SOLAS regulation, it can go up to 130 degrees centigrade. For example, you have a drying room, laundry drying room. There you fit the thing. Normally that space is very hot. So the temperature, normal temperature is say 70 degrees. If it goes to 100 degrees, you will get alarm. That is called the rate of rise of type of heat detectors. So heat sensors, what I was talking about, this may be fixed temperature detectors or rate of rise detectors or combination of both types. It can be a fixed temperature. That means the particular alarm will operate at say around 78 degrees centigrade. Or it can be a rate of rise, means normal temperature is 35 degrees and rate of rise is very fast. Very fast means it is the temperature is going very fast, that time that can operate. So rate of rise detectors do not respond and give alarm, the temperature gradually increases. Slowly temperature is coming up. There may be a smoldering fire or a very minor fire which is giving, by the time that it starts, then somebody try to the subsides due to the cooling effect, boundary cooling or anything, then due to boundary cooling then subsides, then delta rise will be very less, then it will not give a alarm. So that is important, because unless the fire is detected, you will not have that rate of rise temperature. You have a fire, you start detecting, you start extinguishing, then naturally the rate of rise detector will not work, because already temperature has come down due to the boundary cooling. For example, they give another example, they given the vessel moving from the tropical region when the space heating switched on. Some spaces like steering gear and all, we have a space heating. To keep the motors in good condition, we have space heating. That particular area have a heaters on, comes on automatically, the steering motors are switched off. By chance your rate of rise head detector is having a 30 degrees over that fixed temperature, then will give alarm. So these heat detectors, there are two types. Basically two types are used. One is called bimetal coil type heat detector. There you have a material like this, what do you call this, two metals are provided there, they expand. That B and C point there, they have this is a fast, it will close, and this will close because this is insulated. So the different type of bimetal coil is used. Bimetal means maybe aluminum or tungsten, they are using it. So the bimetal strips they use accordingly, they use it, that gives an alarm. The two metal coils attached to the various support brackets, particularly metal gap. When the temperature rises, A will move to the close to the gap C rather than B moves to maintain the gap. So the rate of rise temperature sufficient, gap C will be close, alarm given. The fixed temperature gas, then C will be close, giving an alarm. So here what happens? This particular thing, this particular part here it is insulated. See, you can insulation is there. But where these two filaments are, these two contacts are open. So it will go, due to the rate of rise, it will go move faster and close it, whereas this will not take a longer time. So that is called rate of rise. So this will have a fixed temperature, the combination point. Combination point means it will give at a fixed temperature, it will give you alarm, whereas this will take a longer time to react. The phase is having a alarm for having a fire, smoldering fire or smoke or anything is there, it can give you due to the rise of heat. This detector is useful for dusty atmosphere, as completely sealed, it does not give early warning of fire compared to other type of detectors. So very useful for dusty atmosphere, and these detectors are maybe used in control room, workshop, paint store and above fuel tanks. So they use it here and so there are some places like that. So how to test this? Now I have a portable blower, small air blower with a heater. You just take the blower and just blow the air, hot air onto the heat detector, that will work and give alarm in the fire control station. And the fire control station gives, when it gives alarm, alarm will be there. Besides that, your navigational bridge as well as your engine control room having a repeat panel, like a slave panel. This slave panel also they will give a group where some fire alarm is there. So no need, if you are a watchkeeper, you can see the fire that fire alarm there in the engine control room itself is there. But someone has to go to the control room, that the fire control room to identify which exact location where the fire actually occurred. The second one is besides that heat detector, there is a pneumatic type heat detector. Here I will show you the picture. Here something like sealed is there. There are some sealed unit having a bellows in arrangement. So they have a electrical leads and there is a diaphragm. When this air is going, they get expand and give a thing. But normally the sealed unit, that there are two types, the convex type like this or a rectangular type like this. They have a pneumatic and bimetallic type heat detectors. They are combined of this both. So what is given here? I will show you here. This increase in temperature, increase the air pressure in the semi-spherical bulb, and presence of bleed air through the three-way bleed valve from the inside of the bulb sufficient, then diaphragm will move up and close the contacts. Here the heat, the air inside, it will have a diaphragm. The diaphragm will get pushed up and have the move up and close the contacts. However, rate of rise is the temperature causes sufficient pressure to build up inside the bulb to close the contacts and alarm will be given. So the diaphragm will move upwards and make the contact. In either case, bimetal unit, it will be a predetermined temperature, close the contacts onto the fixed temperature adjustment screw, giving alarm. Okay, here you have adjustment. Now, so for example, some space you want to adjust that particular thing, you are fitting a common thing. Normally when you order the bimetallic, they are pneumatic type, they will come with a fixed setting. You can, on board ship, whichever space which is required to be a setting, temperature setting, you can adjust with the fixed temperature adjustment screw. This adjustment screw, and the adjustment screw will move the diaphragm away from adjust the bleed screw as well, so the air will be inside, heated up with the contact. So here it is actually the gap C and B actually is shown like this, but actually the gap C and gap D will be moved. So electrical leads for fixed temperature, and this is a gap C for the again another contact. So this will make the contact and close the circuit, alarm circuit for giving of alarm in the control panel. The smoke detectors. So we are discussing so far about the heat detectors. Now we have a smoke detector. Smoke detectors shall be installed in all stairways, corridors, accommodation, everywhere. Now the special pipe smoke detectors within the ventilation ducting. Now the smoke detector where it is mainly for the accommodation, your cabins, your alleyways or any spaces where the people are moving around. Passenger vessels, smoke detectors are must. So all the spaces must be there. So smoke detectors, in sensing the smoke only itself, it will give an alarm. When fixed fire alarm system is required for protection of spaces other than specific, at least one detector shall be installed in each such space. Smoke detector shall be started to operate at smoke density about 12.5 exudation per meter. That means the concentration of the air which is in this compartment or particular space, if it is coming 12% smoke is filled up that area, 12.5%, then the smoke detector will operate. Now what is the arrangement here? Okay, here the rate of rise pneumatic type, the smoke goes inside and operate that balance adjuster such a way that it gives alarm. So the smoke is going into the thing. That means how it will go inside. The space is filled up with the air, that air. Normally the air is there. As long as the air is there, nothing happens. But the smoke is filled up the thing. Automatically the smoke will get through this detector, gives operate the thing. So that is a layout of. There are different types are there. There is something like vertical, fin type, all kind of things, or you have a closed chamber like this. Okay, there are some kind of semi-spherical. All this perforated. That means the holes are there in this one. Through the holes, the smoke will go inside. Now here the smoke detector, the light scatter type. This is a prominent or very famous ones which are used on boards. Okay, what they have here? There is a small photoelectric cell. There is photoelectric cell, flashing lamp is there. Now as long as that this perforated thing is not having air, nothing will happen. The light will reach, the flashing light will reach across this thing. But when the smoke comes and fills up the area, light from here will be scattered. That's why they call it light scatter type. And whether this small neon lamp will be there, the indication lamp, where that particular smoke detector is when it's activated, this this particular neon lamp will come on. You can see that suppose there are 3-4 smoke detectors in the area, which the smoke detectors work. You can look at the thing, you can make out that particular thing, neon light is on. So there is a standard base, and you have you can just plug in and take it out. It's very easy to change it. Just have like a bulb and tube, like a threaded bulb you are changing in your room. Same way you can thread it and change it. This is the most prominent one for accommodation spaces in all the ships, even for passenger vessels. Any kind of ships, the smoke detector, this type is used prominently. Okay, photoelectric cell light scatter type, what you have shown in picture before. This that the picture what I have shown. The photocell separated by barrier from a semiconductor using intermittent flashing light. So it's a house in an enclosure where containment smoke is not by light inside. So light is reach that sensor without any problem. But moment the smoke comes, it gets scattered. The smoke is present in the container, light is scattered around the barrier around the photocell, alarm is triggered. So when it is disturbed by the smoke only, it comes. The smoke may be present without much heat or vents, then its detector could be early warning of the fire. Now there are chances of smoke. For example, there you have a machinery space where there is no fire, no heat, but there are lot of smoke came from the machinery due to some brake lining or some kind of problem in the purifier. That particular space have a slight amount of smoke also. You are in the control room, you can get a early warning. So without heat, without flame, you get a early warning. That's why the more advantages smoke is one thing. Initially, even a smoldering fire or a very minor smoke coming out of anywhere. For example, simple thing I can show you that many engines, the exhaust bellows are there. Exhaust bellows are some days start leaking. Moment the exhaust bellows start leaking, it is a colorless, odorless gas. The high heat is there, but the thing is the smoke start coming out, that area will have an alarm. So smoke sensors are very easy for detection of fire in early stage. It's suitable for machinery spaces, boiler spaces, switch room and so these smoke detectors are not only used for accommodation, it is used for machinery spaces also. Testing can be done with a smoke from a cigarette or smoke generator. Nowadays you don't use a cigarette and all. We have smoke generator. Small thing is like a electronic cigarette machine. Same like the smoke is there. Just we have a filament. You have some burning material inside. The smoke will come out, and it has got a mini blower that you can blow that smoke into that thing very easily and test the thing. So photoelectric cell light scatter type, how it works. So you have a light source here. There is evaluation circuit. As long as no air is there, no air is around this area, this light will reach that photo sensor very easily. But moment the smoke is coming, it gets scattered. Scattered means disturbed. It gets disturbed. That light signal, that when it gets the light will not reach, the evaluation circuit will detect that particular that beam light, because continuously it will be flashing light. Continuous flashing light. It's not a constant light, flashing light. As long as the flashing light is on, then it reaches circuit, that will not activate. But moment that get disturbed, the flashing light will not reach that fire photo sensor, it gives an alarm. That's a basic principle of a light scatter type. What I shown you directly, it is the light is coming on the lens directly. But some cases they have a reflector, a 90 degrees angle. They put the parallel light beam from the pulsar. Okay, the scattered light is placed around 90 degrees from the parallel light beam pulse radar infrared sense. So you can detect light scattered in the presence of small particles. So these kind of things, light scatter thing, they put a different version like a 90 degrees arrangement. That picture I will show you in the next diagram. A circuit of the monitoring products will provide a warning indication even though failure of the light source. As light travels in straight lines, opening of the light scattering detectors are provided with baffles and labeling to prevent direct light from the outside source operating compression. For example, why they are providing 90 degrees? Because there is a light source. There is a light source directly coming on that. For example, I am doing a welding job, or I am doing some other cutting job in the engine room. That light can reach the sensor and give a warning signal. That's why that 90 degrees angle is given, so that the outside light will not reach there. This arrangement does not unduly restrict the passage of air or combustion products through the instrument. So any combustion products are going. For example, I am having a blowing through the engine just for a moment, about 5 minutes. That time the combustion products coming out of the engine will not reach that sensor and give a false alarm. So this arrangement is what I have given you. That's what I showed you. This 90 degrees angle is given here. So here the arrangement is, you have a parallel light source monitoring photocell, and a measuring photocell. That means light source monitoring cell. That means you have an initial light source, it is being directly coming there. And where the measuring photocell is the right angle, 90 degrees. This is the one latest advancement in the firefighting system or light scatter type. This is used for very useful but a little expensive, but it is used in most of ships nowadays, because very sensitive, and you have that suppose a smoke or any combustion products coming from here through the baffles, it gets scattered. So there is a light source will be continuously monitoring. That is a monitoring photocell. That is monitoring, and that is a measuring photocell gives the actual alarm. So that is a thing which are having light scatter type detector measuring cell at 92 light source. Based on the light scattering principle, there is advanced type of combustion smoke detectors are used. This is only for engine room purpose. See, there the boilers are there, boiler and machinery spaces are there. Their chances of smoke. Then they have a combustion product. This is a little expensive type, but is the ionization chambers are there, 2 ionization chambers with the radioactive material, and the smoke get ionized due to this. They are called combustion products smoke detector. Detecting chamber is open, reference chamber is closed. So operating constant current, since it contains air and being ionized. Applied potential ensures saturation point is passed. So what happens here? I will show the picture there now. This particular picture. This combustion gas detector have a reference detecting chamber and reference chamber. Okay. Now we have a capacitor has stored energy, alarm circuit, and alarm relay is there. So in case your reference chamber is a normal air and is comparing a reference chamber, in case of combustion products entering the area, it gives a alarm. So it is very useful for in machine spaces. So what is you can show. Actually there is a supply voltage given 220 volts and one A to B 200 different voltages given between the reference point or machining chamber. The voltage shift due to increasing resistance in the detecting chamber, 110 volt across the BC, it will sufficient to trigger a discharge for the 2 to 3. So this is the one combustion products are used for machinery spaces. And how to test this? It's a very sensitive fire alarm, and time delay circuit may be incorporated to minimize instead of false alarms. Suitable for machinery boiler spaces. You can use a aerosol container or smoke generator to test this. Photo optical detectors. This type of large scatter detectors are sensitive enough to detect both small combustion particles and flaming wood fires, and the larger particles from the smoldering fires. So with light scatters are more sensitive. High performance of such detectors will take advantage of the significant rate of rise temperature, and where you have a visible smoke or not, still you can photo optical detectors can directly. It's not a thing that the smoke is going inside the chamber or ionization or scattering principle. This is something, even a visible smoke, it can be identified. So what is happening here? We have a smoke is coming out directly here, and it is going through this and smoke out. There is a thermistor beads are there, and there are 2 levels. One is the outer level and the inner level. So whatever the lights, photo optical detector, scattered light, it will detect the fire very easily. This is called photo optical detectors. The high performance photo detector is when what the thermal element is exposed, the other is shielded. In case of gradual ambient temperature rise, there is no appreciable difference between the 2 thermistors. So there are 2 thermistors are there which is identify in different potential it is there. So it gives a temperature warning between the differential between these 2. The optical detector will detect smoke from the smoldering fires to normal sensitivity. If rapid rise in temperature occurs, for example, slow rise of temperature, it will give alarm. But even the rapid rise in temperature also will give alarm. more than quickly than the steel thermometer. So the circuit senses the difference between the temperature. So it senses the difference between the two temperature points and it gives the alarm. The smoke is detected at the reduced threshold of the optical detector, alarm sound. So if there is a smoke, it is a photoelectric cell, it detects a fire and gives alarm. It's not like scattering or ionization effect. This is a totally different type of fire detector. Now it comes with more advanced carbon monoxide detectors. It is fitted for all the accommodation spaces. In case of any fire, lot of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide is released. So they have it fitted in the mainly in the accommodation. Limitation of present detectors led to extensive research into early warning detection system, design of carbon monoxide detectors. Unwanted fires produced from carbon monoxide, poisonous, colorless gas responsible for many deaths in accommodation space. So accommodation space in the ship actually they are that. See, most of the fire due to ignorance of the crew or people traveling on board, they happens. So that time this colorless carbon monoxide early can detect. See, any space the fire is there, the oxygen being used, where it become a carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide. So basically the carbon monoxide. Carbon dioxide is a complete combustion product. So carbon monoxide is the one which is in the atmosphere. It is very poisonous and it is a thing actually detected by the electrochemical means. So what is happening here? Carbon monoxide have an electrolyte like a battery. You have a sensing electrode and counter electrodes. These things senses the carbon monoxide. Basically, you have a system like that. The carbon monoxide atmosphere can detected by electrochemical means. Detectors include electrochemical cells with a porous sensing electrode that will open to the atmosphere. So this particular carbon monoxide detector meant for only accommodation. So accommodation spaces is fitted there. This is a electrolyte. So it has got a time. It has got a time limit. Every year or every 1.5 years depends on the validity or that period. You have to change this detectors. Otherwise, the electrolyte gets spoiled. You will not get an alarm. Replacement is required for this carbon monoxide detectors. Now, smoke extractors are fitted in the public space of cargo vessels under the section of chapter solar circulation. Public spaces spanning more than 3 more decks, other entertainment areas shall be equipped with a smoke detector capable of manual control activated by smoke detection system. Now, what happened? Smoke extraction means what? The particular space is having a smoke. Now, I did not put a sensor. I did not put a sensor here. You have a extraction system means the air from the system will be drawn by a fan. That means there is a fan which is keep on drawing the air from the space, and like a cargo spaces. Cargo spaces you put a sensor and all, it is going, nobody is going to watch that. It's full of cargo. So what happened that those kind of spaces, you extract the air from there. Moment the smoke start coming to the indication panel, where in the bridge or some other control station, then start giving alarm. The fans will be having capacity to extract the smoke at the entire volume within the space we extract 10 minutes or less. So entire space of the that particular cargo space or any space you want to, you have some space or enclosed space, you want to have that, extract the air from there so that they can have alarm. So what is fitted there actually, the sensor is not fitted directly in the that particular space. It is sensor is fitted somewhere else, only the fans draw the air from that area, supply to the smoke extractors. This is advanced for cargo spaces, other places. So the last part is flame detector. Flame detector is infrared type. Now we have discussed about heat detector, smoke detector. Now the flame detector had an infrared type. There is an infrared light with a characteristic frequency of 20 Hz and flickering radiation from the flame reaches the detector lens. So what I showed you, you can using a naked flame you can test that. Say this is a small flame detector. It has got a what do you call, there is a lens and filter is there. This had an amplifier and frequency circuit which is tuned to 25 Hz. The time delay unit. This is a sealed like that before, you can just plug it out and plug it in. This is a flame detector. That means the infrared light lens, which is in case of any kind of flame, visible flame is there, will give alarm. So what is the use of this? Now you have a early warning of heat detectors or smoke detectors. Ultimately there is going to be a flame, it will detect this. So this is very expensive ones. Now what happened? Flame detector, I can say in the machine space there is a flame failure alarm like boiler or in incinerator. We have a similar type of thing is there. Only thing is it is detect the extinguishing of fire. That means there is no flame is there, will give alarm, no flame alarm. But whereas in case of firefighting system, it is called flame detector system using the presence of flame. So what is inside this flame detector? We have a neon lamp and a time delay unit and frequency amplifier for 20 watts. So this particular thing detect there is a photoelectric cell which actually senses directly, it's like a camera. It is like a camera, it senses a flame directly. So this expansion of this all kind of smoke detector systems, like heat sensors, fire sensors, I mean heat sensors, smoke sensors and flame sensors. It is fitted throughout the ship. This gives actually in fact a very advanced system of preventing the fire in origin itself. You have a fire prevention system, you don't use any flame material, we do a lot of precautions against prevention of fire. Still, besides all kind of precautions, in some point of time, any kind of fire is in onboard ship with a smoke or flame or thing, then it can detect anything so that we can fight the fire in time. That will save the life of the people as well as cargo. Thank you.